Hi, my name is Risa Zeiser. I work for SMBC, and I'm a vice president in the information technology area. SMBC is the fourth largest bank in the world based upon assets. We're a commercial bank here in the United States. We mainly do Fortune 500 customers as well as subsidiaries of Japanese corporations. We have 38 international branches as well as a huge retail establishment in Japan. One of the primary applications that we're using Metastorm's eWork for is for customer data acquisition. This is primarily based upon the Basel II Accord, where we need to be able to amalgamate customers' risk and credit risk up to the highest level. The only way we could do that is to assign customer numbers systematically throughout the organization. And we needed to be able to put out a form and a workflow on a global basis that was able to do that. And we've chosen Metastorm. Some of the process issues we had prior to implementing the BPM solution were that, one, we didn't have a process to do it. Each branch had their own method of assigning customer numbers. So one, we had to come up with a process as well as a numbering schema that would work for all the branches. Obviously, one of the biggest benefits and results of using this solution was, one, we were able to roll it out in a short amount of time. We were able to do it in about, I think it was about 10 weeks or so. We rolled it out globally. The other benefit, obviously, is that now we can meet regulatory requirements for Basel II, which is the primary driver of the application. Meeting the Basel II requirements does equate to a financial benefit as well as a reputational benefit. We are, once again, the fourth largest bank in the world based upon assets, and in the Japanese culture, reputation is everything. So if we were not meeting the Basel II requirements, we would take a huge reputational risk. Additionally, part of the Basel II requirements have you calculate capital adequacy and capital that you need to put aside to make sure that you have enough money for bad loans and default loans. With the process that we now have, we're able to assign customer numbers so that we can amalgamate credit risk up to the highest level, which then enables us to use the most complicated calculation to calculate our capital adequacy for Basel II. With a bank, if you're not lending money, then the money's not earning any money for you. So if you have to put money aside for capital adequacy, you can't do anything else with that money. So the more money we can put out on the street and the less money we need to put aside, the better it is for the bank. The primary reason that we chose Metastorm over other technologies that were available to us was speed of deployment. We had Metastorm come in for a POC versus a couple of other vendors, and in 2 days Metastorm was able to put together the proof of concept for us. After about 10 days, the other guys still hadn't really done what we'd asked them to do. So it was a pretty easy decision for us. We are going to roll out BPM to a lot of other processes, and even the CIF process, or the customer data process, is going to get additional pieces added to it. We're going to add regulatory compliance, the Patriot Act for the US, OFAC checks, MOFA checks, documentation management, all to the CIF process as it exists. We're also going to use BPM to manage passwords, new employees, travel and expense. In Europe, they have something called a season ticket. We're going to be using it for that. And there's a host of other processes that are lining up to get done. The advice I would give an organization that's planning to implement a BPM solution is to pick an application that has large management support, because you're going to be changing the way people do business and the way that they do their work. And nobody likes to have change done, and nobody likes to be told, gee, you're not doing it the right way. So you need to be able to have management support behind you. Otherwise, they're going to find reasons for not doing it. My vision for BPM at SMBC is to enable us to re-examine all the processes that we use at the bank and start beginning to standardize it across the global enterprise, And I think with eWork we can do it because it is a global application that we are running globally. We run it 24/7. We have small windows of opportunity to upgrade the application. So we are truly a global user of the system and does run globally. And consequently, it's now given us the ability to look at the similar processes, or basically the same processes that are being done in any of the 38 branches or international branches that we have, and start pulling them together so that we can start using data, start comparing data, and probably eventually, I would think, start making centers of excellence for some of the processes.